Alan, thanks for joining us on TVC News at 12. We begin this hour with a reassurance from the Minister of State for Petroleum, Henikin Lukubiri, that there will be sufficient supply of petrol by the end of the week. The minister gave this assurance while speaking with a State House correspondent after a closed-door meeting with the Vice President, Kashim Shettima. The Vice President had also summoned the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and the Chief Executive Officer of the NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari. President Tinubu, through the Vice President, directed authorities in the petroleum sector to ramp up efforts at ensuring sufficient supply and price stability across the country. The minister insists President Bola Tinubu is empathetic to the prevailing hardship in the country caused by scarcity of petrol and the hike in pump price.
Products are available in the country, and we believe that between now and the weekend there will be availability of products across the length and breadth of the country. The price could be high in some other areas, much more higher in some other locations, in some locations much more than other areas. But we believe that by the time there is availability of products across the country, the price itself will stabilize.
The regulator is ensured that there's increased operating hours from all loading depots. Vessels are being cleared promptly, and extended hours where safety can permit for truck outs as well. More importantly also is the reinforcement of the support being given to local refiners, because with increased production from them, indeed, like the minister has said, there will be higher supply, which will stabilize the price.
The federal government has launched the sale of 30,000 metric tons of locally milled rice at a subsidized rate of 40,000 naira per 50-kilogram bag. This initiative, according to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, is aimed at reducing the impact of rising food prices and ensuring food security. Uloma Oyemachi has details.
In a historic flag-off, government officials gathered as part of the Federal Food Intervention Program aimed at addressing the rising cost of staple foods like rice. According to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, this move is a directive from President Bola Tinubu, who is determined to prevent food insecurity and ensure no Nigerian goes to bed hungry.
As one of the numerous efforts and present administration to cushion the effects of high cost of food commodities, kindly join me to applaud the immense efforts of the present administration, such as the release of the 42,000 metric tons of assorted food commodities to vulnerable Nigerians and the 30,000 metric tons of milled rice.
Transparency in the distribution process with measures like using the National Identification Number, NIN, to ensure fair access for all citizens has been guaranteed as a core monitoring measure.
I'm actually objecting to what is behind here that says one man, one rice. It's one person, one bag. So which means both men and women are entitled. Others are the verification of intending beneficiaries using relevant identification mediums such as the National Identification Number NIN and phone numbers to forestall multiple access to this food commodity by fraudulent individuals at the detriment of law-abiding citizens.
The Minister of State for the Federal Capital Territory highlighted the importance of making this intervention accessible to all Nigerians, regardless of location.
We aim to ease the financial burden on families and support the ongoing efforts to improve the quality of life for all. Our collaboration and collective effort have made this possible, and it is a testament to our shared dedication to the welfare of our nation.
With 1,000 trucks set to deliver rice across the nation, it is hoped that the influx of this staple into the market will stabilize prices and provide relief for struggling households. Uloma Oyemachi, TVC News, Abuja.
There is growing calls for more action to enhance the digital skills of young men and women in Nigeria with a view to exploring opportunities for youth political participation. This was the focus of a one-day policy dialogue organized by the National Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies in Abuja. TVC News reports.
1% of all elective positions are occupied by youths, despite youths accounting for about half of the population and a sizable portion of registered voters. Access to digital tools and the internet remains uneven across Nigeria, with rural areas particularly disadvantaged. Bridging the digital divide is now essential to ensure that all Nigerians, regardless of their location, can participate fully in the democratic process with a view to exploring opportunities for youth political participation.
Let's give you another round of applause.
This one-day policy dialogue, organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, brings together youths from all facets of life under one roof to chart a course towards a more inclusive and participatory democracy.
It is our duty as policymakers, therefore, as educators, and as leaders to ensure that these digital tools serve as bridges rather than barriers. We must guarantee that all young people, regardless of their socio-economic background, have the opportunity to participate fully in the democratic process.
I would think that this type of dialogue, this type of gathering should be encouraged, because we don't just want to have young people expressing their desire to participate through protest. Even if the protest is peaceful, there should be deliberate and concerted effort to get young people to begin to have their voices, heard in every aspect of governance.
So for me, at the end of this program, we are looking for how young people can make contributions to the process, contribute to the process that ensure that digital technologies adopted in the area of government accountability, in fighting corruption, and also ensuring efficiency in government process for young people particularly.
The Institute and its partners have also expressed profound commitment to advancing policies that promote digital literacy, ensure equitable access to technology, and protect the rights of young people in the digital realm. TVC News, TVC News, Abuja.
In other news, the Initiative for Credible and Transparency in Governance has praised the presidency for taking proactive steps to ensure optimal performance in agencies directly under its purview. In a statement signed by Chono, the group said the recent visit and tour of critical agencies by the President Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, demonstrates a commitment to productivity and accountability. The agencies so far visited include the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, the Bureau of Public Procurement, the Bureau of Public Enterprises, the Nigeria Atomic Energy Commission, and the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure. Mr. Chono says this initiative will boost performance and enhance service delivery and promote a culture of accountability. The ICTD also encouraged the presidency to consider the findings from these tours in resource allocations, policy formulation, and also decision-making process. Now let's go to Taraba State, where the Managing Director of the North-East Development Commission has assured that the two-damaged bridge linking Taraba to other parts of the country will be fixed. Mohammed Al-Khali was speaking during an on-the-spot assessment to the site. Senior reporter Uwulabi Adenusi filed in this report.
This is one of the sites of the collapsed federal bridge in Taraba State, which has now turned into a business center for traders as vehicles are now being ferried. Days after the collapse, commuters and travelers are still not happy over the hardship they go through. But for these businessmen, it's time to make some money.
Amana gode wa Allah. Allah in ya aiko da abu sai mu gode masa. To da na gana ana mabukata suna nan. To sai na zo na rufe na iware na dawo nan ina yi. Ba ma yi da yawa dai kan. Muna dan tattabawa.
It's affect my pocket now. Before I know they pay now. Now they pay 5,000.
What do you want government to do now since this thing don't happen?
Let them work the bridge now.
The visit of the Managing Director of the North-East Development Commission and his team to the site of the two collapsed federal bridges brings hope to the communities.
You can see a bridge collapsing and other collapsing in the North-East is only becoming endemic. I was in Adamawa State 3 weeks ago, and for the same problems. Bauchi has its own share, Gombe has its own share. Now Taraba. I mean, Taraba is not only this bridge, there's also another bridge that I washed away in the last few days. The thing is, we have to sit down, look at it comprehensively, and provide solution that will be durable, not immediately, but for the future. You know, to show that this is a collaborative work, you see that we are together with the Commissioner of Water Resources and Commissioner of Works from Taraba State. As we said earlier, already they have taken a proactive decision to involve the Army, who was another partner, to provide the temporary solution here before we look at a permanent solution.
The State Commissioner for Works appreciates NEDC for the visit. He also confirms that Governor Kefas has consulted Army engineers to help in constructing a temporary bridge before the commencement of work.
The state is doing his possible best to ensure that he has put in the floating bridge to enable those monitoring to pass, and the people of the state should be able to harness some of their economic importance. So we thank God this morning we are here again with the NDDC.
The damaged bridges have to a large extent affected economic activities of the state, as many farming communities can no longer move their produce to Jalingo, the state capital, for sale.